Welcome to our garage. Today we are going to talk about the Aptera. If you haven't heard about the Aptera, we're going to talk about a few things to give you a little more information about it. So we're going to talk about the efficiency. It's got big range and small batteries. We're going to talk about the practicality of it, the storage and the everyday use. We're going to talk about the speed and the power, how much horsepower this thing has, and 0 to 60 time. We're also going to talk about the range, how much, and how much solar range. You also got the cost. So the cost is what we're going to finish things up with, and it'll be how much and what options are available on this thing. So let's get right to it. The Aptera is one of the most aerodynamic street legal vehicles that you can buy. Aptera states that the undercarriage swoops like a dolphin's belly. This reduces drag or wind resistance against the vehicle. The Aptera is curved around the nose, kind of like a duckbill, and it's wide along the body sides and tapered towards the trunk, kind of like an airplane without wings. Four of the most efficient vehicles with the lowest drag coefficient are the Toyota Corolla at 0.29, the Tesla Model 3 at 0.23, then comes the Aptera at 0.13, and the top is the Solar Racer at 0.07. That 0.13 drag coefficient gives the Aptera a 10 mile per kilowatt hour efficiency rating. I mean, my ID4 only is 3.2 miles per kilowatt hour. So one of the factors in efficiency is the weight. The Aptera weighs 65% less than other electrical vehicles today. The body is built with ultra lightweight composites, and the arched shape mimics the physics of an eggshell that can protect you with a safety cell much stronger than steel. Also, along with efficiency, is rolling resistance. The Aptera uses 3 wheels instead of 4, which then gives you less touch points on the ground, meaning less friction and better rolling resistance. OSR Garage has just opened memberships for the channel, so if you want to be a member, go down and click the join button. There's 3 different levels and you get some different options with each level. You get to watch videos before everyone else on the platform. If you the highest tier, you even get a free t-shirt. So make sure you go check those out if you'd like to help support the channel. So thank you, and I hope to be able to talk to you guys in the member only chat. So let's get back to the video. Okay, so how practical is this vehicle? The Aptera's cargo area actually has up to 25 cubic feet of rear storage, and you can even camp in the back. It has been developed to handle well in some of the harshest conditions, and they claim that the all-wheel drive and torque vectoring system will be no problem on snow, ice, sand, or gravel. Alright, the speed and the power, that's what we've all been waiting for. So the front wheel drive gets 2 67 horsepower wheel hub motors, and the all-wheel drive gets 3 67 horsepower wheel hub motors. So that will be plenty enough to propel this extremely lightweight and efficient vehicle. The Aptera will go 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds with the all-wheel drive setup, and 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds with the front wheel drive setup. Both of those times are incredible and are a lot quicker than a lot of the vehicles that are out there now. So we talked about the efficiency, we've talked about the lightweight body, and now we've talked about the horsepower. So what do those 3 things combined mean for your range? Well, that all depends on which battery you choose. Yes, which battery you choose. You get 4 battery choices. And this is what you can expect for range in those 4 batteries. The first battery is a 25 kilowatt hour battery. 25 kilowatt hour battery is probably one of the lowest standard batteries other than on a motorcycle. But with the efficiency of this vehicle, you get up to 250 miles out of a 25 kilowatt battery. That's insane. That's crazy. It's pretty awesome though. And if you go to the 40 kilowatt battery, you get up to 400 miles. And of course you can see where we're going with this. That 10 mile per kilowatt hour efficiency rating that it gets basically means the size of your battery, multiply that by 10. You want the 60 kilowatt hour battery, you get 600 miles. You want the 100 kilowatt battery, you get 1,000 miles of range. That's right, 1,000 miles. It's crazy. Now, one thing that people are going to see as a downfall is that the Aptera can only charge at a maximum speed of 50 kilowatts. I know that's about half of the standard. It's actually less than half of what most electric vehicles are right now. But if you think about the efficiency rating of this vehicle, and then you add that 50 kilowatt charging, it's really not going to take you that much time to add quite a few miles in there. Oh, also, don't forget, we talked about solar earlier, right? We got solar panels. Let's talk about the solar panels. So the Aptera comes equipped with some solar panels, and you can opt for more, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But the Aptera's diamond-shaped solar panels can produce up to 700 watts of continuous charging power if fully equipped, and it works while you're driving. They can produce up to 40 miles of range per day. 40 miles of range per day. Per day. So now we've talked about the efficiency, the horsepower, solar power, the storage that it has in it. How much does all this cost? And you're talking, okay, a possibility of 1,000 miles of range. This has to cost $100,000, right? How about we start at $26,000? Yeah, you heard that right, $26,000. Would you pay $26,000 to have a vehicle that kind of looks a little funky, kind of looks a little cool, but can get you as far as you want to go? So let's talk about the total cost of this vehicle. You've got options. We're going to talk about all that right now. So you get 4 colors to choose from. The Luna Silver, the Soul White, Noir Black, or you can do a custom color for $1,500 more. Yeah, that's pretty cool, a custom color. I'm guessing you just take a swatch of the color that you want it to be and you send it into them and they'll match it and paint it that color. That's a pretty cool option. It'd be cool if you could do that on every vehicle. Now your 4 battery choices, and we talked about those earlier and what the range is. So we're going to talk about how much each one costs. So the 25 kilowatt hour battery that gives you up to 250 miles of range will cost about $25,900 for the vehicle. The 40 kilowatt hour battery that gives you up to 400 miles range will come in at $29,800. The 60 kilowatt hour battery will give you 600 miles of range. That's going to be a cost of about $34,600. And then the 100 kilowatt hour battery that gives you that 1,000 miles of range comes in at $44,900. That's $45,000 for you to be able to drive 1,000 miles. And don't forget about the solar charging. So you get 40 miles per day of charging. So you could charge that up to 1,000 mile range and you could drive it every day, set it outside, let it collect energy from the sun. Think about the next time you might have to charge that. A month from now? 2 months from now? There's no other vehicle out there right now that does that. It's just insane. So the solar panels that are included are the roof and the dash. But you can add more. You can add a solar hood for another $300 and a solar rear hatch for another $600. So that's a total of $900 and you will be completely covered with solar panels, and that will give you that extra 40 miles of range. Front wheel drive is standard. but you can option for the all-wheel drive, and that's going to cost you about $2,500, which I think is a pretty good price and a pretty good deal. You get a little bit quicker 0 to 60 time, and you just have that extra added protection if you get into some cold weather climates and some snow and some ice. You just have a little more stability, and that torque vectoring will really factor into that. And then the last thing you get a choice of is your 4 interior colors. So you're going to get a choice of Coast, Codex, Vita, or you can custom color your interior just like you did the outside for an additional $900. So if you want the outside and the inside to match each other, that would be about $2,400, and you can have it paint matched. That's pretty cool. So what do you guys think about the Aptera? Is it something that you'd be interested in? Would you like to be able to go 1,000 miles? Now, do we really need to have 1,000 miles of range? No, we don't. But it's nice to have that option. So I think the best setup would probably be about the 400 mile range. So that one's going to come in right around $30,000, and then you fully equipped your solar panels and you decide you want the all-wheel drive. Now you're just adding about $3,300 onto that, $3,400 onto that. So you're coming in there around $34,000, and you've got a vehicle that'll run 400 miles of range and charge 40 miles a day just sitting in the sun. So you would take a weekend trip and you leave it sit outside, or you're driving around outside, it's still going to pull that power in, and you're going to get that extended range. So that, I think, is going to be your best option. If you enjoy this content, we do a lot more of this type of stuff, so go down there and hit the subscribe button. And if you like this video, hit the like button, and I will see you later.